Shalom, Israel. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone. And peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, The Lord Destroyed the Evil Cities. The Lord destroyed the evil cities. Call halal Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Call halal Yumla, Alahayanawa, Abanawa, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And, something that's on my spirit. And, as the title reads, the Lord destroyed the evil cities. And, time is winding down in this city, in this place, that great city, Babylon, the U.S., America. Time is winding down here, and the Lord is he's bringing forth that full judgment. And this place is on fire. This place is on fire. But just looking in the headlines and seeing the things that are going on, the cost of living right now is crazy. Ultimately in this place, the U.S. Here in California, you got different places like San Francisco and Oakland, L.A. People for rent are just they're paying $3,000 a month. That's just rent. $3,000 a month. Just that's just for rent. You got all this homelessness. You got over a million people sleeping on the streets here in Babylon. Over 1 million people sleeping on the streets, unsheltered. And you have this whole this water crisis right now that's unfolding in the Southwest. They were saying that the Colorado River, which supplies, 40 million people, with water, is as of 2025 has hit record, level crisis. And Lake Mead is the biggest, largest reservoir, here in the U.S. And is, the water levels they're drying up, and this is becoming a problem because, in these places in the Southwest, water, as far as you need that for, farmland, for farming and things like that. And, states are, and you have the supply shortage and disruption right now, where states are battling you know, each other for resources, you know, and we see the political division that's going on in this place. And the Lord told you, and He told you, the Lord told you in Jeremiah the 51st chapter that He was going to send fanners unto Babylon. Crisis after crisis. Crisis after crisis. Salakia. And you know, I mean, this thing is gonna turn into a nightmare, man. The Lord He's crippling this place. This is why it's very important to get this wisdom and this knowledge right now of the Lord, because he's just totally gonna cripple this place. And then on top of that, you know, judgment is going forth, and it's gonna start with 2/3 of you Hebrew Israelites, of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Judgment is gonna start with you, and then on down to the other nations. Let me go here. Call halal, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And with this whole deportation is, you know, and ICE raids, you know, they're coming after you colored folks. They're coming after you tribes. They're coming after you, Jake. And so they getting the so-called the Northern Kingdom, the Latin tribes right now. And they coming to get you so-called blacks, you Negroes. They definitely coming to get you. Let me go here. 2 Peter's 2, and I'm just gonna go straight to the point. 2 Peter's 2 and 4, and it reads. It says, "For the Lord spared not the angels that sinned." See, for if the Lord spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell. And we know, you know, Bishop Nate from the IUIC and these Sunday Christian believers, you know, they think hell is somewhere where you go burn forever. But hell is the grave. It's a condition. It says, "For if the Lord spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell." And who are those angels? It's the Israelites. Starting with the men out of the Lord's people. And Paul talks about it, what is that, in Romans? Because in these fleshly bodies, and it tells you that these fleshly bodies, the mind is hostile towards the Father, Yahawah. They're corrupted, man. They're tainted. See? It says, "And delivered them into chains of darkness, to be reserved unto judgment." We know 2/3 of our people, they're gonna be judged, man. In this end. It says 5, it says, "And spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the 8th person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly." See? And they tell you, what is that, Job, that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man. These people out here, they don't, ways, gross darkness, levels of record levels of drug overdose, lawlessness, It says, in turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that are after should live ungodly. See, the Lord made an example with these different cities, man. Going back, all the way back to Egypt, dealing with Pharaoh, Sodom and Gomorrah. Noah with the flood. These are all examples for us in this end, because we know the Lord is sending. He's judging this place, but we know the final plague is what? Is those ICBM missiles. They're coming. They're coming. It says 7. It says, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. It says 8. It says, for that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. And we know, you might have to go to work, get your daily bread, and you gotta deal with, the ungodly, because we know 2/3 of our people, a good majority of our people, some of them don't believe in the Lord. They hear it, but they don't do what He say. And you gotta get out here and you gotta deal with them. You're vexed dealing with all this ungodliness. See, but you still have to do what you do. It's that straight gate. See, you got straight is the gate. It says, I'll close out with this. It says, because this is all judgment, man. All of this stuff that's going on is judgment. All of this stuff, everything that's going on in this end with the war, the economy, this is all the Lord bringing judgment, man. It says, I'll close out with this though. It says 9. It says, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, the elect. It says, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment, to be punished. See, the Lord gonna let. It says, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, His elect, His remnant, because this is who's going to be delivered and protected in this dangerous time coming. But He said, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment, to be punished. The Lord is a lot of because 2/3 of our people, they're gonna get it. The Lord gonna let them, right along with these other nations. Some of them may be prospering, doing good, living their life, The Lord, and they don't have a care in the world about the serving the Lord. Because he told you he coming like a thief in the night. The Lord told you he's coming like a thief in the night. You don't know when a thief is going to break into your house. See? So this is just symbolic to how the Lord bringing this judgment in. Because we know the final plague is going to be those missiles that are going to hit this place. And you're going to have amongst our people that and with the other nations, you know, they're doing good and living life and not a care in the world. But here come the missiles. Here they come. And we see the wars ramping up. The Lord told you, man, that the day of the Lord cometh, and is cruel, and it burneth like an oven. Shalom.